Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is just going to be a talk on comfort. Now, I believe we all tend to seek comfort in challenging times, sorrowful times, and painful times as well, especially those times. And we try to seek comfort in the things that we do on a daily basis, whether it be our routine, jobs that we go to, the universities that we go to, the schools that we go to, the courses that we do, or in the people that we love, or our friends or families, the relationships that we have with people. We tend to seek comfort in all of those things when things don't really turn out the way we wanted them to. They don't really turn out the way we expected it to be, and all of a sudden, there's just a bunch of unfortunate circumstances that come our way, and that makes us feel so down, so depressed, and so in need of like answers to the questions that come to our minds every single time we experience those frustrating and honestly heartbreaking situations. We tend to seek answers. Why didn't this happen? Why did this go this specific way? Like, there's just a lot of questions in our mind at that point, and what we really need at that point is not the answers, but what I do think we need is someone to help us calm ourselves down, calm our mind down, you know, try to get us to stop thinking about what could have gone right, what went wrong, all of this stuff. And because I do believe that the more we think about that, the more we'll just tend to constantly end up blaming ourselves for every little thing. As I've said, accountability is good, but at the same time, if you keep blaming yourself for everything and just, trying to say that, oh, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault, well, really trying to get to know the actual reason as to why things didn't really happen, you're never going to really solve anything. You're just going to be down and depressed for so much. But that's overthinking. That's what happens when we're in deep and sorrowful situations, or going through something that's rough, that's emotionally draining, that's mentally draining, and in turn it could actually also be physically and spiritually draining as well, because it all works in tandem and all works hand in hand. And that's where we seek comfort, in those moments, especially the hardest times. That's why we go to pray. That's why we go to our families, our loved ones. We go to them for guidance. We go to them for advice. We go to them for answers to the questions that we tend to ask ourselves a lot, because we can't get the answers. It's so crazy, so crazy, and so amazing actually what comfort can do to someone, or do for someone rather. Because speaking from experience, I mean, I've gone through a little bit of my fair share of tough times, my fair share of regret, my fair share of you know what ifs, my fair share of situations where I just felt downright depressed, heartbroken, and alone. you know I was filled with a lot of questions, and I constantly only blamed myself for every single thing that happened, and it never really got me to fixing those things that went wrong, those things that didn't work out, because I only blame myself, and it was a really hard time. I mean, you know, not to say that there are easy times like that. Of course, you know, it's really hard. So yeah, I went through something like that, and I was trying to find so many answers. I asked, I prayed, I asked everywhere. I searched on the internet. I prayed to God. I was looking for signs so badly as to why things never went my way. Things were always turning completely, bad. Everything was a mess. My life was a mess. Who I was a mess, and all that. But I didn't really thought that what I really needed was someone to just say, "Hey, take a break, chill," for a while. Like, stop overthinking so much. Just breathe. Just breathe, and just someone to pat pat me on the back and say that, "Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Just let it out. It's okay. If you want, we can talk about it. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Just chill. Okay, I'm here. Okay, like we can do anything you want for fun or anything like that. I didn't know that such simple words could mean so much to me at that state. You know, because normally I would think as someone who uses big phrases and big words and big fancy, sentences in these talks that I do, I never really thought that such simple words could actually bring someone so much assurance, so much, comfort, so much peace just by giving them a pat on the back and saying stuff like, here if you want to listen, but if you don't, it's okay. It's okay, just let it out, clear your mind, and you don't have to say anything. We don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Just, you're here. This is a safe space, and I'm here for you. Something like that, It's cheesy and it's corny at times, but I think that's why little of us or most of us don't really do that nowadays. I mean, because like we find it to be so corny, so cheesy, so cliche, and all that. But sometimes, it can really help. Of course, there is intent with that. You're not just saying it for the sake of saying it. You're saying it because you do deep down believe that your friend, or if it's your case, you get out of that situation and things will actually get better. You know, and that's something that's so powerful because not only do we comfort people through those words, but we also comfort people through actions. We also comfort people through ways that you know that that are so simple yet mean so much. You know, take for example, a hug. A hug is just someone embracing you. That's it. We do that on a daily basis. I mean, for guys, for girls, when we get to uni, when we see our friends, when we see family, we like high five them, we fist bump, we, you know, do that little shrug thing, like, when we, I don't know how to do it. We do this and then like that, and then we like pull each other towards each other, and we give a pat on the back, and like, it's like a semi hug or something. I can't really enact it, but yeah, it's like that, something as simple as that, but it's more simple. It's just someone coming up to you, seeing that you're going through a hard time, says, ask, of course. Ask, first of all. This is another thing that we rarely do. I don't know why, but it's very rare to actually, for me, I guess for me, being around the people I see, it's very rare that people tend to ask anyone like, "Are you okay? Are you genuinely okay? How are you?" Like that. I know it's so cliche, and people use it like only for dating reasons or for texting reasons or how to start a conversation. But to actually have the intent of asking someone, like really wanting to know how someone is doing, that's really important. And it goes into comforting someone because if you know that someone's going through a hard time and you feel it within your gut, why not ask? Why not ask? Why not ask them how they're doing? Why not ask them, if they're okay, if they need anything, or if they say that, okay, it's okay. If they say that, I'm fine, don't worry about it, it's okay. But at least you offered to, ask, hey, what's going on? If you need somebody to talk to, here. Because sometimes, even though I said that we tend to seek comfort from people, sometimes we're too afraid to ask as well. I know that for a fact with myself because I'm not much of a talker when it comes to my problems or any of that, any of those personal stuff, which troubles me and all that. So I don't really tend to ask people for help or for comfort or any that or for advice or whatsoever. But when someone actually offers to do it, and it could be in a weird time because timing is also very weird. You could be going through something rough and then somebody comes along and just says something or gives you a hug or a pat on the back or a fist bump or whatever and smiles at you, and that could be this thing that you need to give you that sense of comfort or that sense of peace that everything is going to be all right. A lot of things can be said with just a simple gesture rather than words, and I know that for a fact because you know I'm pretty sure that, it doesn't matter, like in my case, it doesn't matter how much I write in terms of like a letter or a note that says, all the comforting words that I could possibly come up with. That doesn't compare to a hug, or that doesn't compare to someone actually talking to you, or that doesn't compare to actually someone just being there for you, whether it be through physical, interaction, whether it be through Google Meet or Zoom or anything like that, where you actually see the person. Nothing compares to that. No note, no poem, no story, no written thing could compare to that because you see the person. He or she is there for you. They're right there in front of you. They're with you, even though you're not speaking, even though you're just sulking. They're still there. And that's another thing. There's so many ways of really comforting people, and it's crazy that the most effective ways are the most simplest. You know. So yeah, I mean, if you're going through a hard time and you're in need of comfort, I mean, don't be afraid to ask, of course. And of course, I'm pretty sure you have your, you know, close group of friends who you can ask that from, or family members who you can ask that from. You can ask to talk about it. Just let it out, let off some steam, take a breather, you know cool off for this one, just to get your mind clear of all those thoughts, of all those questions, and of all those emotions that's running through your brain, your heart, and all that. Because at the end of the day, if you have a clear mind, if you have a clear heart, with which is free from all the pain and all the burden that you put on it every single day, especially on your shoulders as well. If you feel that weight lifted off you, you'll be able to think straight, you'll be able to feel right, you'll be able to do things on a normal basis and actually smile and be happy. And I think that's one thing that we all look for in our lives as well, is to be happy. You know, it's very overrated and it's very overused as well in a lot of movies and a lot of talks and a lot of podcasts. This one, but I think that's all what we really want. Despite everything that's going on, despite all our troubles, despite every little thing that we go through, whether it be bad, whether it be troublesome, whether it be life threatening, all we want at the end of the day is for us to just, be at peace, find a sense of assurance, and just be able to smile and be happy. And and if you're on the other side of that and you have a friend or anyone who comes to you for advice, who comes to you for just someone to talk to, someone to this one, I would advise you to, if you really feel like you want to, go for it. I mean, you don't really have to say anything, you don't have to worry about saying anything wrong, because at the end of the day, what we really want is just someone to listen to us, to vent out our problems, so that we have some sort of outlet, because many of us in this world don't. you know some Many of us might not have that passion, that hobby, that thing that they do to relieve some steam or to blow off some steam. The thing that they only might have is someone to talk to, So yeah, if anybody comes to you, says, "Hey, can we talk for a while? Are you busy?" Or just have a normal conversation. Ask them how they're going, talk about stuff. So maybe that could be the thing that could give them that sense of comfort that they need in that certain moment. You know. I mean, not to get all religious here, but I'm just gonna say this once. It's a thing that actually stuck with me in in church, or I don't know who said it. Maybe it was a priest, maybe it was a friend, maybe it was a classmate in catechism. But they said that sometimes, or maybe all the time, because I guess we're the only source of that. But most of the time, or almost all the time, God answers someone's prayers through people, or God answers our prayers through people, through us. So, that's another thing as well. Why our actions could mean so much to someone as well, because, God might be speaking to them through us, you know. I mean, I didn't believe it at first, but, the more I experience things, the more I'm like, wait, is coincidence? Is this coincidence, or wait, it's very weird. But yeah, that's something to think about or ponder about. But yeah, you could be someone's answered prayer or anything like that. You know. But anyways, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. And yeah, take care, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.